Hello and welcome to the show. Now, the Cadillac Limo is a rather difficult car to acquire currently on Forza Horizon 4. It is only available to be won via wheel spins. I have been lucky enough to get the car. It does come with a myriad of engine options. There's a quad rotor, for example. You can have V8s, V10s and V12s in this vehicle, which is, as you can imagine, an awful lot of fun. The V12, though, in particular, is the most powerful commonly swapped engine. It can get up to 1,500 horsepower. While technically the Iron Knight's engine can be swapped into a couple of vehicles, you know, it's not going to go in most vehicles. The V12, a commoner option for cars, and that is an awful lot of power. You see, because the Cadillac, that starts off front-wheel drive, which means you can put a 1,500 horsepower V12 through the front wheels of a limo. Now, normally once you start getting past 500 horsepower, front-wheel drive doesn't really work particularly well, and this is in normal, sensible hot hatches. What happens if you put 1,500 horsepower through the front wheels and then go racing with a field of quite possibly the craziest limos of all time? So here we are for our first race with the craziest limos of them all. We've come to the Broadway of Village circuit. I'm going to be starting in the middle of the pack. It's a fairly straightforward circuit in some ways. It's still going to be a pretty mean test for the cars. There are a couple of straights for the cars to really stretch their legs, but we've got plenty of fast flowing corners that you would expect a 1,500 horsepower front-wheel drive limo to not be very good at. However, you'd be amazed at how well this car drives. It really shouldn't, but it does. We have got very much stuck. I was trying to be a little bit cautious, and everyone behind was going aggressive, and I got bunched into the wall. It's three wide with, well, many limos. It's three wide in many places, and I'm going to be stuck. Now, you will notice, of course, a lot of unliveried limos. The truth is, these cars are not exactly easy to come by. They can currently only be won from wheel spins. There is no other way to unlock them. You might be able to get them on the auction house if you spot one up for sale, but because they are quite rare, not many of them get sold. Which means that a lot of people here are having to rent from the host, being my car. Now, the reason why I've got a silly camo livery on my car is I was hoping everyone was going to be forced to use the same livery as me. Sadly, it's not the case. They're all just in black limos. So, in me trying to make a field of hideous cars hasn't really worked. And I'm the only one with the hideous car, but never mind. So far, racing has been pretty good. The walls are, well, there's a lot of paint goes on the walls around here in a couple of places. The corner, the two left-handers basically here. So many cars. That one and the previous fast left. So many cars end up in the wall, brushing the fence. We have bounced our way underneath a lamppost, which is always helpful. I've got a very brightly coloured car having a sniff up the inside. I will give them space. I don't want to push them past the checkpoint. That would be a real arsehole thing to do. Again, remember, these are 1,500 horsepower through the front wheels, and I'm not making funny noises trying to drive the car. I mean, more so than normal. Oh, we've outbraked ourselves. They are actually really not that terrible to drive. They understeer a little bit through these faster corners. However, you know, a car like the limo, whether it was front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, would probably be understeering a bit through those corners. There's a lot of car trying to make its way through the turn. The fact that 1,500 furious V12 horsepowers are trying to escape the front wheels doesn't bother the car. It is incredible. Now, the car does have very, very long gears. The car does have some incredibly long gears, which will help with that. It does make the power a little bit more accessible, a little bit easier to put this power down when you've got such long gears, but it's still remarkable how well the car manages. We're three wide again. That's not good. I'm going to lose a place in all of that. I don't really want to be around the outside through there. Oh, there's some bumping. Someone's very much the wrong side of the wall there. They've not had a good time. on that section of track. I might be able to get my get my place back with a sneak up the inside. Now, one thing we have seen, we did do a quick test race around here just to make sure the borrowing of host car was all working, etc. There is a bump on the outside there on that grass. You do not want to run a wheel wide, otherwise you hit the bump. Oh, I got big understeer actually. That's the first time I've actually got understeer to the point where my car stopped steering. Oh, that's really annoying because we were looking like we might be able to challenge for 4th place, and I completely beansed it myself. I mean, I'm being ultra aggressive on the throttle out of these corners because you can, even in second gear. I mean, this isn't a case of, admittedly, second gear, you're up by 90, 100 miles an hour. But, yeah, even in second gear, you can get to full throttle and there's normally no wheel spin. But if you do ask a little bit too much, the car does start spinning. As I just found out there, you can end up getting carried away with it spinning the wheels and just being dragged wide. Oh, that's a shame. We were looking good for a potential 4th place. We might be able to sneak 5th still. Can I have a go up the inside? Maybe we can actually into the final corner. I'm trying to cover that inside. Make sure there's no... I should have left it in 3rd coming out of there last time around. Would have been better. Oh, it's a good race. Was a good race. A little stupid by me. Little stupid by me. I'll hold my hands up on that one. But there we go. We will take a 5th place. Look at those fastest laps. 48, 5, 5, 5, 4, 8. We're on the 47s, geez, and then 48 6s and 6s. Yeah, close racing. In cars, these should not be that close, but somehow they are. We are off to the Aston Heritage Circuit next with our selection of limos. I'm going to be starting at the front. Well, that's quite nice. I'm probably not going to stay out there, however... It's a nice place to start. The circuit here is a pretty fast track. There are still plenty of nasty corners for the limo to get into trouble, and I am a little bit concerned about turn 1. I need to get off the line fairly well. I'm trying to not go too crazy with the old wheel spin. I don't really want to get in. Oh, well. There's a little bit of lag and some cars have fired their way up the inside. I guess that all works. We are through at least. Now the crests could well play havoc with this car. It's of course got full race tyres and whatnot. There is a lot of grip, but over the crest, front of the car goes light. We might actually have more serious understeer problem than we have got to begin with. I actually could probably put that in 3rd, to be honest, through all of that. Little bit of a mistake there by me, but never mind. Nine's going to be brave around the outside. I'm not going to fight that one. Oh, that's a big dive. We're just going to get sort of squished in the middle. I was rather hoping not for a dive there. We're going to get stuck as well on the outside. Again, not really where I'm wanting to be. We've got a pretty good run, but I'm not sure we're going to have anywhere to go here. Going to be in the fence. There's another limo to the inside. We're going to have too many cars fitting into one small space. Christ, I'm really bored of getting stuck on the outside of everyone dive bombing. They're not the easiest cars to slow down, no, or to turn in places. That's where so many cars are going to get caught out with understeer. Let's see Kiat going for an exploration with an understeer. That's too much speed through there. Last car I drove around here was a B-class Fiat, the 131 above, and that handles quite a lot differently. It's also quite a lot, well, it's quite a lot slower, naturally. So you're kind of flat out in places with that, and then you're really not flat out with this. I was trying to have a slip up the inside, not going to work through there. We're all going to probably run in quite deep through that, get away with it. Now we've got a limo on the outside, although they're probably not going to want to go around the outside here. Of course, we are all in identical cars. There is no car advantage to anybody in this particular fight, so you're not going to have any more grip than your opponent. You've got to have, braked later, get a better exit out of the corner, which is probably what I should be focusing on here. The cars ahead struggling a little bit for control. Now this is understeer bend, I think, although we've all first couple of laps we've now figured out what we're doing. This is quite out a number of cars. I'm going to determine not to get caught out this time around. We do not get caught out, although we are kind of all blocking each other in through there. I'm not sure I want to bounce my way across the dirt particularly. It kind of kills your momentum. You'll get a slightly shorter line, but with the car bouncing around up in the air, it'll kill your run onto this back straight. We have got a good run, but again, there's not really anywhere to go, although as those two fight each other, I will say thank you very much for both of those lovely positions. That is about as much as I could ask for, quite frankly. Fight each other into attrition. It only took them one corner as well to do it. Both end up out wide, sneak up the inside, get the better run, and run away from everybody. Now, if I could just clear them, we've got a couple more laps. I think we've all got fairly similar pace in these cars, to be honest, barring silly mistakes. I might have had the pace to fight with the front cars, although now probably going to have too much work to do to try and catch up, and I don't want to overdrive the car like that again if I can help it. We're going to end up with big understeer through there, but I don't want to get caught going out towards the fence. Try and get on the power. Twisty has been very fast with these mad limos, so I know I'm probably going to be under threat on this one. But we'll be more under threat from behind than I am be a threat to the cars ahead. Barring big mistakes, of course, missed checkpoints are very, very doable with these. Even with a vehicle as large as this, when you are fighting side by side, when you are engaged in battles, especially depending on what camera view you are using, it can be very difficult to see when you've got a sea of limos ahead of you. Oh, there we go, we are through. Still a limo sniffing around behind, looking for a way past. I cannot afford to get this next corner wrong. This is where we need to be absolutely spot on with our car. We need to be fast. Oh, you're going to get underneath. Well played. You were just that little bit braver than I. Now, I can do one thing here. I can limit where he drives on the exit. We can make the corner narrower for Twisty. We're going to have to, though, try and fend off. We'll get the inside for these fast back straight sections. Up to God knows what speed. I think that said 170. We've just parked it exactly where I wanted it to be. We got it clear. We could park it on the inside. I'm now going to try and park it on the inside around the hairpin. Couldn't quite make it work, although there was not enough space to cut underneath. We'll park it on the inside through the penultimate corner. Very, very good final lap there. Very good final lap. You got the run in the place you wanted to, got alongside, couldn't quite complete the manoeuvre. That was a great race. That was a very, very good race. I thought I got third. Did I over? No. I don't know. Either way, I'm not quite sure how I got second. I thought I probably should have been there. Regardless, that was a very, very good fun battle with the limos. The Ambleside Village circuit is, well, outside the course creator stuff, the most technical, the nastiest of the street circuits on Horizon 4. And, well, we're going to be taking the big limos. Truth is, these would probably have a difficulty, even without the immense amount of power, etc., just because of their sheer size. It's not an easy track to fit cars around. Overtaking is difficult. I'm pretty sure I got released. I guess me getting released later than everyone is to make up for the positional cheating game that I got in that previous race. You know, I'd take that, honestly, as a penalty, and that's it. I say as a penalty. Gain an extra position on the podium for a second maybe delay in being released. That's worth it. We're going to try and sneak our way around the outside. It's not going to work. There's not going to be a gap there. There's going to be a wall. Other things to be careful of. We might still be able to sneak it around the outside. Yeah, not quite. Oh, is that? There's literally what I wanted to talk about as I was trying to draw alongside. Little bits of the houses and little bits of the walls do jut out, and if you are incredibly unlucky, or if you are playing it too risky, if you are trying to be a bit of a greedy bugger, you can end up clonking into those, and they will pretty much stop your car dead. Oh, and you know, not only was this track difficult enough to begin with, I decided to put in a little bit of rain just for some good measure. Thankfully, my clonk on the wall was, as far as clonks on the wall go, fairly minimal. It's recoverable from that sort of a clonk. We can get back into the fight as they go too wide up ahead. Oh, I think there's been some missed checkpoints around here so far. Well, that's a lot of understeer through there. That's nothing to do with the engine. That's just I've got the that's nothing to do with the power. That wasn't on power understeer that caught us out there. That was just me turning in wonky, and you know, there's only so much grip. This might be on race tyres, but it is still a big and heavy car. Try to be, yeah, so that's the line you want through. Well, not quite that line in Peg. That is the sort of line you want to take through that section. It's trying to get onto the sort of start-finish straight-ish part as cleanly as possible to try and maybe make up some time. It isn't an easy thing to do, particularly. I don't actually need... Maybe you need third gear at a couple of places, but honestly, through most of it, second gear is pretty good. Oh, that's not where I wanted to be. See, that puts me out of position here. That makes me slow through this next part. That leaves me potentially vulnerable to an attack. Not quite, not close enough. Yeah, it can though. If you get things a little bit, wrong around this lap, it is easy. You can see there, Demon was a smidge wide at the apex, and that put him out of shape. And I almost managed to sneak up the inside. I actually got some big on-power understeer of my own through there, and that's going to leave me vulnerable to attack into the first corner. We clonk the fence. It's so narrow down there that it's so difficult to get a pass done. The fight for the lead's getting pretty intense, and it's probably not going to be long until it's a 7-car battle. We're all within 3 seconds of each other. The top 7 are within 3 seconds of the lead. The top 6 are within 2, and it will not be long until Impega is right with us. So, you know, it's not quite as good as that mad MotoGP race that was like 15 bikes fighting for the lead or something. But this is not bad. Stupid cars make for the best sort of racing. How many times have we said that on FailRace? The sillier the car, the inverse law of FailRace, the sillier the car, the better the racing. And these are about as silly as you can get. And we have got 2.8 seconds to 3 seconds separating. Oh, sorry, I'll try to give you that position back. Where are you? There you go. Didn't want to go for the overtake like that, but there's so little space in all of that. Yeah, we're going to have to try and now work our way back past. The leaders have just stopped fighting for a millisecond, and they can manage to... Oh, I had a horrible, horrible feeling there was going to be some problems there, but no, it was just a little bit of lag. Looking around the outside, not going to fit there. Can I have a sneaky dive up the inside? Trying to get along. Overtaking in limos full stop is very difficult because there's such a large amount of car. Just trying to get an overlap, just trying to get alongside to get pass completed is difficult. You know, we've done limo racing on the motorsport games. Just trying to draw alongside is tough. That will be an opportunity that I will take with open arms right there, and unless there is any shenanigans on this final lap, it looks unlikely that I'm going to be able to move up. I hate that corner so much. I'm really struggling to get my limo through there with any sort of speed. Oh, don't hit that. That could have proved costly. I think Beaver's too far back, thankfully, to do very much. We are too far back to do anything about the car. It's up ahead. Christ, that is that is a difficult circuit for limos, I'm not going to lie. Oh, you can actually use the curb there to bounce the back of the car slightly around. Ah, well. We're going to come sixth. It was a good race. It was a very good race. Very, very busy race. Very hectic race. Not bad from so far down on the grid. 47.1, bloody hell. That's some serious speed. 47.1, 46.9s are very fast. There's a lot of us in the low 48s. 48.2, 1, 4, 1, 9, another 47. That is certainly a workout with those cars at that circuit. Our final race with these mad limos comes to another pretty fast circuit. The Holyrood Park circuit is, yeah, pretty nasty in a couple of places for very high-speed corners. Now, this is the sort of track that is unlikely to be kind in incredibly high-powered front-wheel drives. And I say this, though, and everything we've been doing up until now shouldn't have worked with this sort of a car, and it has proved to be, well, mighty competent just about anywhere we've put it. So this is kind of, I guess, the last real big test for the mad 1500 horsepower Cadillac Limo. Overtaking around here is it's not the easiest of tracks to overtake on due to its incredibly fast nature and little in the way of braking zones. It is still going to be doable. We're still going to potentially find ways past. There is also one fence where we are likely to see a lot of cars in. I mean, this was one of them. We've kind of cleared that. Unfortunately, me and Twisty clearing it for everyone behind. it's that fence there that is going to collect a lot of cars. I actually hit a little bit on the way in without really meaning to. I'm going to be able to get around the outside there. It's going to be a bit of follow the leader for the moment. You don't want to miss the checkpoints down here. It is always a little bit sketchy. Slight bit of lag. Don't know where they're going to be. Oh, some slow-mo lag for me. That's some fun times. I'm very sorry. Well, that's unexpected. We can just about still be flat through there. Now, I have an S1 class Impreza that I ran around this course, was doing 200 miles an hour, and the limo is going to match it. That is 200 miles an hour in the limo, and it will still stop for the first corner. That is immense. The grip and speed that this thing is capable of doing, despite still being front-wheel drive. Seriously, there are 1,500 horsepower all-wheel drive cars that have got less control than this. Admittedly, this has okay sized tyres, but they're not ludicrous on the front. It's not like it's got 405s or something at the front of this. So, yeah, it does do very, very well indeed. We might possibly be able to do a little bit of catching. Again, though, it's one thing to catch, it's an entirely another thing to find a way past if we do. Being brave into turn one is possibly the best bet I'm going to get. Oh, we're both going to do that, aren't we? We're both going to push it a little bit too hard. It's very easy to end up in the concrete on the outside there. I've done it with a few cars when you've just overdriven it slightly. Yeah, turn one might be the best bet if you're feeling really brave on the brakes, but oh, it's a big airtime moment for both of us, I think, actually, through there. You do not want to hit the bump. The bump is deadly down there if you throw your car a little bit too hard. You can get away with it, some cars on rally suspension, and probably less speed. Let's face it, at 200 miles an hour, the amount of time you spend in the air if you hit that bump, that's all your braking. Oh, I say all your braking distance. That's a significant amount of your braking distance suddenly gone. So you don't really want to be playing around with that. And any gains I've made, I've now gone and lost through the next section. I love that little jump down there. That's always a fun corner to take in just about everything. Try and take it nice and close to the wall. We're going to be a little bit stuck in no man's land at the moment. We've got the two blue cars fighting behind us. I mean, if they can keep each other busy, I'm not too likely to fall back, but I'm also not really able to do too much. It's that tantalising gap at the moment, that tantalising gap where I can't quite catch. You kind of need a mistake if you're going to be able to, if I'm going to be able to do much. It was my mistake last lap around, it was too far away. I think I saw, the car, the leader bounce. There was a nameplate of a lap down car or stuck, I don't know, control disconnect or something, parked up. So that's confused me for a second. Yeah, we were a little faster through, I think, turn one, but we're only talking a tiny smidge. I'm still, this is the fourth race now with this vehicle. I'm still impressed with how controlled this is, how easy and regularly I am at full throttle in a limo with 1,500 horsepower going through them front wheels. It is, quite impressive, and this has not had extensive tuning work done on it. In fact, I've not done anything to the tune. It is just capable. It is just a highly, highly capable vehicle in a weird roundabout way. We are going to cross the line in a second place. There was not much more. It's a little bit more of a lonely race, to be fair, for me there. Not much more I could have done in that one. Lap time wise, yeah, pretty damn close. 1070, 1071. Yeah. If I hadn't got that air time, if I hadn't bounced, and I got that turn right, and the leader had gone wide there, might have been a very different story. But once I fell back, it was then trying to push that a little bit harder, and in the end, we just slipped to a couple of seconds down. That's way more drivable than I ever expected to be. The chances are you're going to be wanting a limo anyway in this game, as they are quite a rare car, quite a, well, at the moment, a car based entirely on luck, whether you're going to be getting one. They are good fun when you stick a massive engine in them, and really, that deals with its power immensely well. Very long gears do help, but still, you wouldn't expect that at all from the car. So, there we go. Who knew? 1,500 horsepower through the front wheels, made for such excellent, excellent racing. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.